Hi, I'm Teresa Jones from the Sweet Creek Moon blog, visiting here in the Adornit studio. Today we're going to make some really cute scarves, and my goal was to make them really simple. So we're going to make this scarf, which is cute, as well as this one up here. So let's just get started. All you're going to need for this entire project, or for two of them, are the materials for both of these scarves. For this one, in fact, I'm going to undo it so that you can see what I'm talking about. For both of these scarves, you will need 1/3 of a yard of material that you love. You'll see that this has some different ends. This one's straight at the edge, but I have two different fabrics here that are both 12 inches. You'll also need, if you make this one, another piece of fabric that is 4 inches by 14. Pretty simple. So you need a pair of scissors, and they sell this heat and bond. They sell hem tape in different widths, 1/2 inch or 5/8 or however much. This is just what I had around the house, so that's what I'm just going to use. So here we go. We'll set this aside. For this bow that I have in my hair, take 12 inches, which is 1/3 of a yard, and I will cut it down the middle. You would cut it down the middle. I'm going to pretend that I cut it down the middle. Cut it down the middle, and that would leave me with 2 pieces, which is here. This is 6 inches, and this is 6 inches. I've sewn the two of them together. I used a serger because it's really fast, but even with the sewing machine it would be fast enough. So sew the 2 pieces together, which is what I already did. Now, after you've sewn the 2 pieces in the middle, you're going to want to fold them in half. So this is the folded. If this was my piece, I'm going to drape that over my arm for a second. Put right sides together. And iron it if you want to, but I didn't. Iron it if you want to. So I'm going to run a seam. I'm going to close the end, sew all the way down, which is what I did on this one. Put that over there. I sewed the end, get to the end of it. So the end and all the way down the side. So you're going to sew the top closed and all the way down the sides. Make sure not to close this end because you'll need to wrap the material inside itself. Now, use a pencil or a dowel or whatever you have around the house. You can even just use your fingers if that's what you've got. And you're going to pull this entire thing inside out. And it's pretty simple. You just shove the material up there. Make sure you pull it out on this end. So I'm not going to do this entirely because I think you know what I mean, but you'll do it entirely till it's inside out. Okay, see how simple this is? La 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 la. All right, so this is it. This is one turned inside out. Now remember the part where I said not to close it? This is why, and you don't even need your sewing machine for this part. So we have the entire band. This is where the heat and bond hem tape comes in. So lay it down. Just make sure that you do it the width. It's not very hard. You'll cut it. You'll have your iron ready, and you will just carefully place it on the inside. Lay it down, and then that's where you take your iron, following the instructions that are on the package, and iron, and iron. And then it's done. So for this one, you would just start, and I would just start wrapping it back, go forward and back, and then just do a bow. Simple, 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 simple. Okay, setting that one aside because it occurred to me that this would be fun for a mom to wear or an older sister or something. But to make this one with the contrasting fabric, here's what you do. Same 12 inches. I showed you this before. Same 12 inches. Now instead of cutting down the middle like we did before, we're going to fold it long ways. Fold it long ways. Now, I did not use a pattern for this, and I want you to see how easy it is. I'm not even going to look at that. I just wanted it to be a triangle. So I eyeballed. You don't have to run a seam here because it's on the fold. Woohoo. So cut. See, I'm bravely doing this in front of a camera. And cut. Now, all you have to do is flip this over in half, cut the other side exactly the same, and if it's not perfection, it just really doesn't even matter. It just really doesn't even matter. So, cutting, cutting, cutting. You don't need a pattern, you don't need a pattern. And it doesn't need to be perfect. I imagine if I brought all of my headbands and laid them up on top of each other, you would see, hey, they don't match exactly. So now what you would do is, remember this side is folded so you don't have to sew it. I sew here to here all the way down to halfway and then stop because you don't want to mess with the corners. And then starting at the corner again, sew up to the point, down and to the side. Leave yourself however much need to just open it up and then turn it inside out again. Okay, so this is what I would do if it was sewed, which is very, very easy, and turn it inside out. You'll do the same thing for here. You'll have an opening. I would iron it. Well, I do iron it. Iron it so that it's flat, so that you don't have to sew. If you wanted to use a needle and thread, you could whip stitch it closed, the opening. But if you wanted to just use this while the iron is hot, measure it, cut, and then stick it inside again and iron it. Now, when you do use this, make sure that all of the pieces are tucked inside the material because then it won't get the guck on your iron. All right. Okay. Okay. So now this one will be done, which will look not same pattern, same fabric, but this is what it looks like finished. Now, for the cute little, this part of it, remember, now, to get 14 inches long here, and if you wanted to make it wider, you were the boss, you were totally the boss. Get the piece of fabric, turn right sides together, and you can guess, you're going to sew this seam, turn it around, sew this seam, and leave this one open so that you can turn it inside out. Again, you're going to finish with the hem tape, and that's pretty fabulous. So now that when you tie it, and I should have grabbed, I'm just going to grab this right here. When you tie it, it's only going to go around once because nobody's head's this small, bless our hearts. But you will tie a bow, and then loosely tie another one, at which point you'll take the delightfully chosen contrast and slip it through. I should have an extra head up here so this would look great. Ta-da, ta-da, ton, 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 ton. And there you go. So cute and so easy. Okay, there you have it. 12 inches of fabric, a pair of scissors, a pencil, and some hem tape, a sewing machine, and you are good to go. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you are particularly fond of what you saw, please click on our link below. Thanks. Bye.